Hi friends, I'm Yamini and I welcome you back to my channel The Saffron Box. Today I'm going to be talking about the transit of Rahu through the nakshatra of Bharani. So we all know that Rahu is currently transiting through the sign of Aries, and within the sign of Aries we have three nakshatras, as in a total of 9 charans or 9 padas of nakshatras, and which begins from Ashwini, goes on till Bharani, and then further on Kritika. So Rahu, being a retrograde planet, moves backwards, so it moves from 30 degrees downwards into Aries. So by the 13th of June 2022, within the next few days, Rahu would have crossed the 3 degrees 20 minutes within the Kritika nakshatra, that is the last few degrees of Aries, and then it will move on to the Bharani nakshatra. So Rahu moving backwards will be going down from 26 degrees 40 minutes where it enters Bharani. It will go backwards till 13 degrees 20 minutes where Bharani will end, and then it will enter into the nakshatra of Ashwini. So now talking about Bharani, Bharani is a Venus owned nakshatra. Its deity is Yama, and Rahu is a friendly planet. Rahu is friendly towards Venus. So throughout this journey of Bharani, while Rahu journeys through the nakshatra of Bharani, we'll have an amplification of the Venusian energy. Rahu, as we all know, is the planet of Maya, it's the planet of expansion. It has a hunger for growth, hunger for materialistic growth in majority of the cases. Barring a few cases where, we can talk about spiritual growth or higher learning. But in most of our cases, the common man is affected by materialistic desires. So Rahu here, being in the nakshatra of Bharani, which is ruled by Venus, is going to amplify the Venusian energy. And what is this energy of Venus? Venus is again a planet of wealth, of luxuries, of materialistic desires again. Right? So though Venus signifies a lot of things, but here for the common person like you and me, here the energy is going to be more of a materialistic energy, more of a pursuit of materialistic growth. So here I'm going to be talking about the journey of Rahu through the nakshatra of Bharani, and how is it going to affect the 12 signs, the 12 ascendants. So remember that Bharani nakshatra is ruled by Yama, as I mentioned, and it talks about endings as well as beginnings. Every ending is a beginning. Whenever we end something, we step into something new. A new cycle begins. Venus is also a planet of relationships, of how we conduct our business, how we go about our partnerships, how do we maintain our relationships, how good, how diplomatic are we in our relationships. And here Rahu is going to really give a good boost to all these energies over here. So your materialistic energy, your tendency to look at relationships, how depends again on how Venus is placed, how Rahu is placed in your chart. All those things are going to get magnified over here with the presence of Rahu in the Bharani nakshatra. Also do remember that people who are undergoing the Rahu Mahadasha or Venus Mahadasha, or if you are undergoing an Antar or Pratyantar Dasha of Rahu and Venus, they are connected strongly in your chart by way of conjunction in your chart or by way of dashas. You are going to feel this impact a little more than others. It's going to be a pronounced effect. Those people who are undergoing a Rahu return, that is, if in your natal chart Rahu is in the nakshatra of Bharani, in the sign of Aries, Again, transit Rahu is also in Bharani. Transit Rahu is also in Aries, so we'll call it a Rahu return, which happens once in 18 years. So these charts or people having these combinations are going to see a very pronounced effect of this particular transit of Rahu. So here I'll go sign wise. I'll begin from Aries, go on till Pisces, and we'll try and understand as to what kind of an impact will this transit of Rahu in the nakshatra of Bharani give out. What kind of effects will it give out for all the ascendants, all the signs. So as usual, you will find timestamps in the description box and in the comment section. And in case you haven't subscribed, do remember to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so that you get regularly notified of all the content which I upload. So I'll begin with the first sign, that is Aries. Now if we talk about Aries ascendant, I always tell my viewers that you have to see the ascendant, check your lagna, check your ascendant, and then see the results. So if we are talking about the Aries ascendant or Aries rising, for you, Rahu is in your ascendant currently, and it is in the nakshatra of Bharani. So what happens? It is going to be activating the 2nd and the 7th house owned by Venus. So what does it do? It amplifies the 2nd and the 7th houses. So here there could be gains in terms of finances. If you're in a family business, you could find yourself in financial gains. There could be expansion over here. You could start up with a new partnership or a new business. Venus is again a planet of partnerships, of business, etc. So many things Venus signifies. So you could be starting up ventures like this. You could be concentrating on relationships within your family. For some of you, Venus getting activated over here could also bring in new relationships, as in a new marriage prospect could come in, a new chance of getting married, or things start shaping up towards marriage. But a word of caution, for a lot of you, this particular transit is also going to tell you to pay attention within your family. So while your finances and your business ventures, everything might go up, your relationships within the family can get a little hit. Why? Because Venus is a marka. Venus owns the 2nd and the 7th house. Both the marka houses for the Aries ascendant are ruled by Venus. So here you have to be a little careful about how are you managing your relationships. Financially, it's a good transit. Also, do take care of your health, because if a marka planet is getting activated through the energy of Rahu, it is good that you take care of your health first of all. Then I move on to the next ascendant of Taurus. Now for Taurus, remember, Rahu is in the 12th house and it is activating the energy of Venus. Venus is your ascendant lord. It owns the 1st house as well as the 6th house. So here these kind of energies are going to be activated. What kind of energies? You focus on yourself. You become competitive about how you're going out to the world. You become more conscious, more aware of how you look. Right? So all these changes are going to be seen. Some of you might go in for a makeover, a wardrobe makeover, or something to do with your physique. So you want to look good. Here that energy is getting amplified. And for the next few months, till February 2023, while Rahu is transiting through this nakshatra, you could also get ample opportunities to work on yourself. So remember, your competition is yourself. Work on yourself. Try to do good things for yourself, for your body, for your routine, for how your life is going, right? Also, remember that Saturn, which is your Yoga Karaka planet, is in the 10th house currently. I've already made a video on the Saturn retrogression. So here, a lot of opportunities can come up for you. Your Yoga Karaka planet is also in a strong position. So overall, it is a good chance, a good period for the Taurus ascendant. So make sure that you're using up this opportunity, business wise, work wise, and for yourself. One word of caution is that you should take care of your expenditures. Expenditure in terms of time, expenditure in terms of money. So do not waste your time, money, energy on wasteful things. Rahu, remember, is in the 12th house, so that energy is anyways getting amplified quite a bit. Your expenditure or your frittering away of energy can happen. So you have to take care of that. Then I move on to the next ascendant, that is Gemini. So for Gemini rising, Rahu is currently in the 11th house, and while it's transiting through the Bharani nakshatra, it is activating the energy of the 12th house as well as the 5th house. A good transit. Lot of your desires, lot of your ambitions can get fulfilled. You can use your smartness, you can use your creativity to achieve your goals. A very good opportunity for you. Especially those people who are in the communication industry, who are in the entertainment industry, or you're working in the education sector, or you are a student yourself, you're pursuing higher education. This can be a really good chance for you to fulfill your dreams. Make objectives, make realistic objectives, and achieve them as you go along. You can get a good chance to do so. Also, a word of caution is for those people who are speculating. So whatever you do, I think you should do it with a lot of thought, with rethinking and reassessing as to what you're doing, how you're going about things. So do not be impulsive regarding speculation or regarding investing your money anywhere just like that. So be very careful, take a calculated risk at things. Also be watchful of your relationship with your children. So if you have grown-up children, there could be chances of disagreements or conflicts with them. So you have to be a little mindful of that as well. Then I move on to the next ascendant, which is Cancer. Now for Cancer, you see Rahu is transiting through your 10th house, and it is going to be activating the energy of your 4th house as well as your 11th house. Not a very bad energy, but yeah, you have to take care of your professional work. Professional engagements need to be seen. Need to handle the work environment better. Also, pay attention to your mother's health and your relationship with your elder siblings. There could also be a chance that some relationship in your social network comes to an end, right? So there could be a little rejuggling or a redoing of your social circle. So some people come, some people go, so a little shuffling up there I see. There could also be a purchase of some big property. Okay, so here the energies of the 4th house and the 11th house are getting activated, with Rahu aspecting the 4th house as well, right? So there could be a big ticket turnover. So you deal with something really huge, a big asset. It could be a luxurious vehicle, it could be a luxurious house. So a big ticket turnover of assets is what I see. Then I move on to the next ascendant of Leo. So for Leo, this transit of Rahu is happening in the 9th house, and it is activating the energy of your 10th house as well as your 3rd house. So what does it do? Here you could be seeing a surge in travel. Work related journeys can happen, so you could work could keep you busy, could keep you on your toes. A lot of running around related to work, long distance travels related to work, right? And also people who are in the media sector, who are in the communication sector, who are in the television business, media, entertainment, television, etc., could see a very active time, a very busy time, right? So that is something which you need to see. Work on your work atmosphere. How are you dealing with your colleagues, how you're dealing with your boss is again something which you need to be a little mindful about, very important for you. Ensure that you communicate better, and a lot of you will actually communicate better. There could be cooperation from female colleagues. Also there could be a lot of interaction with your colleagues, a lot of communication, a lot of chances to mingle around in your work atmosphere. But your communication has to be good. That you have to really be mindful about. Also keep a check on your relationship with your younger sibling. That is again a very important point. Then I move on to the next ascendant of Virgo. So now if you're a Virgo rising or a Virgo ascendant, this particular transit of Rahu is happening in the 8th house, and it is activating the energy of your 9th house as well as your 2nd house. So here a lot of you who are in the insurance sector, or who are in R&D, you are in the occult field, or you're dealing with oil, mining, archaeology, these kind of sectors, these kind of work fields could actually stand to benefit. So a lot of action you get to see, a lot of matters related to all these fields come up. Some of you will see insurance or inheritance matters also cropping up during these 7-8 months of Rahu's transit through Bharani. Right, so an active time for you. A lot of focus on money matters, family money, as I mentioned, inherited money, etc. But one word of caution: Rahu being here in the 8th house can actually bring in that hunger, some amount of greed also in a few cases. So just guard against any greed, or do not take any undue advantage financially within the family. That is important. Take care of your father's health, or take care of your relationship with your father. That is again something which is an important point for the Virgo ascendant. Then I move on to the next sign of Libra. So if you're a Libra rising or a Libra ascendant, this particular transit of Rahu is happening in your 7th house, and it is activating the energies of your 8th house as well as the 1st house. Why? Because Venus is your Lagnesh. Venus rules your 1st house as well as your 8th house over here. And Rahu, being a friendly planet towards your Lagnesh, is activating that energy. So some of you will see a boost in confidence. Some of you will see that, a lot of your, you are thinking ahead, you're thinking futuristically, you're trying to make plans of the future, right? But at the same point in time, there could be a lot of unseen obstacles your way as well. So while all this energy is being activated, do not feel overconfident. It is good to be sure-footed, but stay away from overconfidence and making calculation errors. That is something which you have to really guard against. It's a good opportunity to work on yourself. Venus, being the 8th lord, also takes care of all the transformations in life. So a lot of transforming energy comes in. It's a good time to break in any bad habit and bring in some good habits into your routine. Change yourself mentally, physically, work-wise, business-wise, new changes. So a lot of transformation coming your way. Then I move on to the next sign, which is Scorpio. Now for Scorpio, you see this particular transit of Rahu is happening in the 6th house, and it is activating the energy of the 7th and the 12th house. Venus being the lord of the 7th and the 12th house. So here I would say Rahu being in a Upchaya Bhava, in a growth house, yes, certainly motivates you, gives you that drive, that motivation to achieve things which you want to do. But you'll have to be a little careful regarding your public dealings. Stay away from any kind of a clandestine deal, something which is not done by honest means, something which you're not too proud of. So stay away from any such temptation, any dealings which you're not supposed to do. So do not get carried away by any greed, by any temptation. That is again very, very important, especially with the 12th house energy being activated. So take care of your spouse, take care of your marital relationship, of your life partner, take care of your business partner. Make sure that your dealings with people is all right. You are dealing with people in a straight way, and you are communicating what you mean to say. So do not hide things from your partner. Be straight in your dealings. Then I move on to the next ascendant or next sign of Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius, you see this particular transit of Rahu is happening in the 5th house, and it is activating the energy of the 6th and the 11th house. Again, growth houses, Upchaya Bhavas, but again malefic houses also. Venus is not a very good planet for the Sagittarius ascendant. So here, while you see growth, while you see materialistic achievements, your wishes can get fulfilled, you can achieve more. It is very, very important that you take care of your health. That is something which you really have to guard against, right? So a lot of focus on growth, a lot of focus on opportunities. Till date, if you were facing any opposition, if you had loans to pay off, if you had some legal matter going on, or some issue which was really big obstacle in your life, you could deal with all of that. But make sure that you are not doing all this at the cost of your health. So don't burn out yourself in the pursuit of your desires. Take care of your health, especially if you have any Venus related disorders, as in there could be a hormonal disorder, or there's some disorder related to diabetes, etc. Right? So that is something which you have to see. Then I move on to the next ascendant, which is Capricorn. So if you have a Capricorn rising, this particular transit of Rahu is happening in the 4th house, and it is activating the energy of your 5th house as well as your 10th house, right? So the sign of Taurus is in the 5th, and the sign of Libra is in the 10th house. So here a lot of you could see professional changes, change in job, change in boss, or you moving out, taking up a new opportunities. Depending on how your dasha is going, what is the kind of promise of your birth chart, some of you can see a promotion, can see an elevation also, right? So a change in role, whether it's for good or bad, depends on the kind of dasha, depends on the promise of your chart, right? So this is a good time to think of something new, think of a new venture which you want to do. Some kind of ending related to work is coming up. So again, good or bad, that depends, but you have to be a little mindful of how your career is going, how your growth opportunities are coming and going, right? Be a little careful about your relationship with your children, especially if you've already had some problems with your children, grown-up children, some major agreements if you're undergoing, then you need to be a little careful. Then I move on to the next ascendant, next sign of Aquarius. Now for Aquarius, Remember, Venus is a yoga karak as well, and Rahu is going to be in the third house. It's already in the third house, Upchaya Bhav. Rahu's transit through the third house is anyways considered good. And from here, it is activating the energy of the fourth house as well as the ninth house. These are ruled by Venus. Venus is a yoga karak planet also. So for Aquarius ascendant, a lot depends on where Venus is placed. How is Venus in your birth chart? So you could see, a lot of matters related to land, related to property issues, vehicle issues coming up. They could be, you could be acquiring a new vehicle, you could be acquiring a new piece of land or a new house, etc., or renovating your house, paying more attention towards your accommodation, towards your property, etc. So a lot depends, as I said, on the placement of Venus over here, on Rahu's relationship with Venus in your birth chart, also on the dasha which you're undergoing. But overall, this is going to be a good time for you, a good transit for you. Then I move on to the last ascendant or the last sign of Pisces. So for Pisces, you see this transit is happening in the second house. Rahu is transiting through the second house and activating the energy of the third and the eighth house. Malefic houses, difficult houses to deal with, right? But this is also a time to overcome any obstacles which you are undergoing. Any obstacles, any problems, any issues in life. A lot of motivation, a lot of drive, initiative can actually take care of all these problems. So make sure that your communication is good. You are trying to gain the support of your younger siblings, of your childhood friends, and then tackling any issue. It will really help you. So take care of your relationship with your younger siblings, with your childhood friends, with your neighbors, etc., your in-laws. So this is a time to make sure that your relationships are in order. So whichever relationship, whichever member of the family you need to work with, please make sure that you are strengthening your relationship with them, letting go of any past issues, transforming your relationship with people, right? Also a good time for people who are in the media industry, who are in the communication sector, etc. This could bring in a lot of activity for you. A lot of focus again on family finances. So your Rahu is anyways in the second house. It's aspecting the eighth house as well. So your finances, your partner's finances, family finances come into the focus area. So pay attention to your relationships and your finances, and you should be able to sail through better. So that was all about the 12 ascendants and the impact of Rahu's transit through the Bharani nakshatra while being in the sign of Aries. So do remember to send in your comment or drop me a mail, drop me a message. My number is also there in the description box. In case you wish to consult me, you can do that as well. So I'll see you all soon in the next video. Till then, take care and God bless.